Hey guys, welcome to lesson 38 and 39. Really a lot of this, you guys are gonna be like, ah, piece of cake. Okay, so here we go, let's just get into it. Example 1 says that we need to expand this. Expand it just means to distribute the things, multiply it out, okay? How are we gonna multiply this one out? Well, there's 3 of them, so I'm gonna take away that 3 and actually write them out like this, because that's how we're gonna multiply them. Trying to do it in your head is really not gonna work. Okay, so here we go, x times x. So I'm gonna multiply these guys first, these two, and then whatever answer I get there, I'm gonna multiply it by this third one right here, okay? So x times x is x squared plus x times 3x is 3x plus this one is 3x, so that's gonna be 6x. Then 3 times 3 is 9, okay? Times x plus 3. So now we have x squared times x is x to the third plus this times this is 3x squared, this times this is 6x squared, this times this is 18x, this times this is 9x, and this times this is 27, okay? If you're like, what, Miss Jessica, are you serious about all that? Yeah, just make sure you go like this. This times this, this times this, this times this, this times this, okay, then this times this, 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 this times this. Okay, you just have to make sure everything touches each other. So you're going to have x to the third plus, this is going to be 9x squared plus, this is going to be 27x plus 27. And there is your answer expanded. Okay, here we go. Example 2. In order to solve all this, you got to get everything to one side equal to 0. Okay, listen to that. Get everything to one side equal to 0 so that you can factor and solve for it. So here we go. I'm just going to move this over here and then write it in order. It's going to be x squared minus x plus 6 equals 0. It's not plus 6, it's minus 6, so I moved it over. Don't forget to change your sign. Miss Jessica forgot to change your sign, but anymore. Okay, then we're going to factor it. Okay, 6. What are the factors of 6 that are going to give you negative 1? 1 and 6? No. 2 and 3? Yes. So here we go. X, 2, 3. Which one's negative? The big one. So you can get negative 1 when you use sumar, and that's equal to 0. So that means that x minus 3 equals 0, so x is 3. How do we know? Because remember, if we do x minus 3 equals 0, we add the 3 over here, and x is equal to 3. And then x plus 2 equals 0, so x must be a negative 2. Okay? Yes, you need to check these. Yes, you need to check these. Put them both into here. So let's do it. Minus a 3 plus 3 squared is 9 equals 6. It's true. 9 minus 3 is 6. Then a negative 2 is going to give you plus 2 plus negative 2 squared is 4 equals 6. Yes, it does. So woohoo! We got the right answer. Okay, let's do example 3. Okay, remember when I told you when it's like this, we need to move everything over to one side and then solve for 0. Make it equal to 0 and then solve for x. I'm going to move everything over to this side because I can see right there that there's a negative in front of all this stuff, and I don't want negatives in front of my x squared. So I'm going to move over here and make it positive. So your thing's going to be x cubed plus 2x squared minus 35x equals 0. Okay. If you did move everything over to that side, it'd be fine. You just take out the negative and change all the signs one more time. Now look what you do right here. You have to take out an x. Don't lose it. You have to just take it out. But keep it. Just keep it separate. Now we have to factor this thing inside. Keep your x. Okay, so now we have 2 parentheses plus this, and that makes sense because we started out with a 3, okay? So we have the factors of negative 35 that are going to add up to equal positive 2. That would be 1 and 35, no. 5 and 7, yes. Okay, positive 7, negative 5 to get a positive 2. Then we put it equal to 0. So x is 0, first of all. This x outside means that x equals 0. So that's one solution. X minus 5 equals 0, so a positive 5 is another solution. And then x plus 7 equals 0, so it's a negative 7 solution. Okay? Now we gotta check it. We have, obviously 0 works because we have negative 35 times 0 is 0, and then all this multiplied together by 0 is 0. So that one works. 5. Negative 35 times 5 is going to give you negative 175. So we go over here. 5 squared is 25 times negative 2 equals negative 50. Minus negative 5, or 5 squared is 5 cubed is 125. So negative 50 and negative 125 is negative 175, so that one works. And then negative 7, so negative 35 times negative 7 is going to give you 245. 7 squared is 49 times negative 2 is negative 98 minus negative 7 cubed is going to be negative 343, and then it's a negative, so it's positive 343, so that's minus 98 means 245, so woohoo, all three of those work together. Go ahead and do your practice. I'll come back and give you your answers and the explanation on how to. Okay, here we go, guys. The answer to letter A is x cubed plus 6x squared plus 12x plus 8. Why? Because we're going to expand everything. X times x is x squared, x times 2 is 2x plus 2x is going to give you 4x. Plus 2 times 2 is 4. Then multiply this by x plus 2 is x times x squared times x is x to the third. X squared times 2 is 2x, but this is 4x times x is 4x squared, so you have 6x squared. 4x times 2 is 8x, but 4 times x is 4x, so 8x plus 4x is 12x, and then 4 times 2 is 8. Over here, you're going to move over everything over. Your answer is 0, negative 2, and 18. You move everything over and set it equal to 0, right? So you have x to the third minus 16x squared minus 36x equals 0. You take out the x, and it's x squared times, minus 16x minus 36. You factor that out. The factors of 36 that are going to add up to equal 16 are 18 and 2. Negative 18, positive 2 to get negative 16. So x is equal to 0, x is equal to negative 2, and x is equal to 18. So you go right there. You need to check it, but I'm not going to because you already know how to, and to save you time. Let's go over to lesson 39. Okay, these are very easy, but this is not the only part of this lesson, but they're easy if you remember the difference of squares. If you recognize, guys, that this is a perfect square root and this is a perfect square root, and that this is the difference problem, not a sum, a summa, but it's a resta, then you can factor it out like this. Take the square root of this one is 2x. Square root of 9 is 3, so you make one of these positive and one of these negative. Okay, 2x plus 3 and 2x minus 3 equal to 0. Okay, so there's two different equations here. You have 2x plus 3 equals 0, means that you move over the negative 3, divide by 2, and it's a negative 3 over 2. This one is add 3, divide by 2, divide by 2, and it's 3 over 2. Okay, negative 3 over 2 and 3 over 2 are your answers there. Yes, you need to check them. You can check them in the calculator, you can check them somewhere. Okay, here we go. The perfect square root again, 81, and m squared is going to be 9m. Square root of 25 is 5. Okay, positive, negative. There you go, equals 0. So here we go, 9m plus 5 equals 0. You're going to bring over the 5 as negative and divide by 9. This one's positive 5, divide by 9. And those are your two answers. Okay? And let's go into rhombus. Okay, an example. Okay, here we go. We're just going to be using relationships with angles that we know, okay, to find A, X, B, K, C. Hey, let's do C first, because if you look right here, in the middle of this is going to be 360. So 360 divided by 4 is going to give you 90. And so C has to equal 90, even if it might not look like it's 90. It is. Okay? So there's that one. Now, how are we going to do this X and A thing? It's actually a lot easier than you think, because if this thing right here is 280, then to complete the circle would be 360, right? X and A complete the circle. So you have 360 minus 280 is going to give you 40. What? 80. It's going to give you 80. 60 minus 8 is 80. So 80. Well, these have to be equal to each other because this thing is bisecting it. Okay, it's intersecting it right in the middle. So X and A are equal. That means 80 divided by 2 is 40. So 40 is A and 40 is X. Okay? Well, knowing that, then we also know that, look, this is 90, you guys, and A is 40, so what's K? Well, 90 plus 40 is 130. 180 minus 130 means that K is 50. And look, if K is 50, B is equal to it, so B is also 50. So what do you have? You have A is 40, X is 40, K is 50, B is 50, and C is 90. Okay, go ahead and do your practice. Or watch it again in case you need to process it again. Okay, here we go. Letter A is 1/2 and -1/2. B is 8 over 11 and -8 over 11. And C is X is 27, A is 63, and Z is 90. So how do we get A? Well, square root of 144 and X is 12X minus the square root of 36, which is 6, and plus the same thing, right? So then you move over your 6, you divide by 12, you're going to reduce down to 1/2 and -1/2. This one is square root of 121 is 11m minus square root of 64 is 8. Move over your 8, divide by 11, you get 8 over 11 and -8 over 11. This one right here, look, your reflexive angle is 306. So I did 360 minus 306, I got 54. Divide by 2, that's going to give you X and B, so 54 is, divide by 2 is 27, so that's X. It's also B. So look, I used the B, 27 plus 90 in the middle, because 360 divided by 4, Z is always going to be 90. And so is all the other ones. So I have B is 27 plus 90 is 117. 180 minus 117 gives you 63. That's going to be for the unknown angle over there. So A also has to be 63 because they're equal to each other. Okay? Let me know if you guys need anything and have a great day.